Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want to. And today I want to talk about things that could be done in 153 days. I know, sounds kind of odd, but there's a whole point to this. First of all, what is happening? What is fucking happening in the United States these days? I mean, our Hollywood, which I know a lot of people put our Hollywood on pedestals and they're just human, but they are falling apart. And these are people that we don't personally know. But, I grew up watching Tom Hanks. I grew up watching all of these people. I grew up listening to Diddy. Yes, I did. I was born in Dallas, Texas, so remember. And they're just falling apart. And, it just makes you really think, what in the fuck is going on? And so I wanted to talk about some things that we could do in just the next 153 days. Okay? I know it's strange. It's strange, but I'm going to work it out. Okay? So first of all, I think anybody in 153 days could train and run a 5K. It's possible. And if you don't think it is, DM me. I'll train with you because I'm probably never going to run again, but my knees are horrible. Old as fuck. Too many marathons, too many half marathons, too many Tough Mudders. That whole bit. And so it just gets to the point to where I want to hike. Now that I live on a mountaintop with 30 plus acres, I need to hike. I need to figure out how to hike. So walking a 5K might be needed. So, I have a friend, Anne. She's my martial arts teacher. And she moved away a couple of years ago and got married, and she lives 5 hours from me now, but she's wanting to do like a mud thing. And I'm like, if I can walk it, yes, I used to run it, but okay, in 153 days, we could train for that. You sure think we sure fucking could. And they say just a month. So 3 days, you could break a very bad habit. 153 days, 153 people, 153. That's all it takes. You could potty train your 2-year-old. I could do it in a whole lot less time in 153 days. I am a master baby worshiper. Yeah, But you definitely could do it in 153 days. You know what I mean? You could also lose 40 pounds, and that's doing it the slow way. I intermittent fasting, and maybe if I took a few of those margaritas out of my diet, it might be easier. But in 153 days, we could do that. We could do that. I think you could adopt a child in 153 days. You could. I mean, if you had your background checked already and all, but you could actually adopt a child in 153 days. I mean, hello, people, there's just 153 days. What can you do? You could start completely over in a new town in 153 days. I did it. Yeah, I did it. Less than that. Anyway, you know what you could do? Oh, you could also, in 153 days, you could learn and understand how to play roller derby. Yeah, I could help you with that too. Yeah. Do you know what else you could do? In 153 days, if you were smarter, probably smarter than I, you could study and probably ace the ACTs all in 153 days. 153 days. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe I should be drinking now. I'm not drinking, so we got a little stuttering. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, you could ace 153 days. 153 days. And there's so many more things. you could do in 153 days. And the reason I'm saying these days is that's how many days that it's going to be till we have the presidential election. And I'm just here to tell you is what the fuck is happening? What happened? Because like 40 years ago when I was a kid, to be a president was just, you know what? Just a divorce could stop you from being in the White House. A divorce. And you know how common divorces are now. A divorce would. If you cheated on your wife, it would. And Lord forbid you had any money issues whatsoever. If it wasn't top on top, you were not presidential. I understood when I was studying just in grade school, presidential is just, it's like, dude, how can somebody, you know, I mean, yeah, what president was it that said I never inhaled the weed? But, you know, they dig so much into the backgrounds that it's a wonder. When I was in middle school, it was a wonder that they even found people. You know, I'm like, because who doesn't mess up sometimes? Or who doesn't just sin? You know, somebody could get pulled over when I was a kid with a beer opened up and get it on the record, just not even drinking it, and 30 years later still be a felon. So that's what I'm talking about. Is how did we get to a place in this United States? I'm flubbering a little bit, but I don't really like to get on political, and it's not really a political. It's more of a, how the fuck did we get here? Because it doesn't matter who you're voting for. It just doesn't matter. We have one person that's a felon now. He did wrong. It doesn't matter what he did. He did wrong. He's guilty. At the end. Then we have another one that the president we have right now, we know, is it dementia? What is it? But his mind is not there. And you know, when I was a kid, they would have had it taken away from him. We'd have had a first president because the vice president would have been president. And I don't understand why in the world today, in the US today, we just shut our eyes and look at this shit. And, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, if everybody in the US for 24 hours in 153 days, just don't leave their house that day. Don't vote. Don't leave your house. And no votes posted, but just what would happen. But you know what? Somebody's going to vote. So you know somebody's going to win. So everybody needs to get out and vote. And I understand that. But are these really our fucking choices? Really? So here's what I'm proposing. We have 153 days. That's how many we have until we vote for the next president of the United States. And do you know what we need? We need to wipe that fucking slate clean. That's just all there is to it. Wipe it clean. Just wipe the felon off, wipe the dementia off, and say, we need two more people, and let's go find, because you know what? In 153 days, guess what? You can fucking do a lot. So we have 153 days. And do I hope that it's going to be done? Oh, fuck. I know this ain't going to happen. I know it ain't going to happen. In the next 153 days, there's no way they're going to be wiped clean. But really, in 153 days, I think we really could. You know what I mean? We could do it. Yeah, we could do this. We could get somebody that maybe isn't a felon, or maybe a person that has his whole brain. You know what I mean? That isn't old. And is it dementia? I mean, I could be wrong there, but you know him. I mean, okay, hold on. Pause. You know what I mean? So remember, it's not a political post. This isn't a political podcast. It is a, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? So I'm not going one way or the other, if you know what I mean. But Come on, people. Get your head out of your ass. Get your head out of your ass. There's nothing wrong with us going back to presidential. Do you remember when you were growing up and that word presidential meant something? Doesn't mean anything now, does it? I know. That's what we're leaving our kids. President, that doesn't mean much. Anyway, I'm just going to stop right there because I said my piece on 153 days, and we're just going to say, Americans, get your head out of your ass and let's make presidential again. Okay, so just between us, I wanted to let you know that I mailed out a sticker today for the podcast to my biggest fan, Dima. Yes, it finally got mailed. I'm going to have to get better at that. But I have a few stickers. I mean, who doesn't want a sticker or maybe some shirts in the future? I mean, who doesn't want to wear a t-shirt or hat that says, "Thank God you're not my child," if you know what I mean. So yeah, so if you'd like to have a sticker, I'm sending those away. Yeah, little stamp. I know. Sending them away for free for now. Email me. Thank God you're not my child. podcast@yahoo.com. I'll put it in the bylines here. And if you'd like one, just do that or DM me on other socials. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Everything is "Thank God you're not my child." Yes. Remember, I am the queen of the crazy house. Yes. I know. Used to have 10 kids, 10, 12 kids all day. Now, I just live on the mountain with way too many animals. Only cats and dogs, because that's all he lets me have right now is cats and dogs. I also think I need a new kitten. So if you listen to this and you have a kitten and you're really close to me, let me know and DM me. I need a new kitten because my Dorcas ran away. I know. So anyway, remember, I'm making next episodes. I'm taking listener stories. I'm collecting those. So email me, DM me your funny kid stories, funny stories that happened at the store, teachers, whatever, because we can talk about anything. Yes. So just between us. Okay. Since I went a little on the political side, neutral political side, I want to talk about a commencement speech. Yes, that one. First of all, the Chiefs kicker, he's on one of my hated teams because I'm a Cowboys fan. So there's your first thing. I'm not sure I'd have listened to what the fuck he'd say anyway. But he's Catholic. People, he's Catholic. You know? And he was given the speech at a graduation at a Catholic college. You know, and I listened to the transcript and I also listened to it and took a lot of notes. And you know, you might not believe most people aren't going to believe what the shit he says. But you know what? That's called free speech. It's called free speech. Should somebody lose their job on free speech? I mean, not because of what he said. I mean, it's just ridiculous for somebody to say he should lose his job because of this speech he said. You know, his wife must be really happy. I mean, seems like he's a good guy. Do we want to be married with him? First of all, I don't think he could handle me. And most women out there are going to go, "Oh, he can't handle this fucking thing." You know what I mean? And I get that, but it is free speech. It's no different than Pride Month is this month, and people are getting up and they're doing speeches. And even if somebody doesn't believe with everything they say, it's still free speech. Sometimes you just have to like close your eyes and go, "Welp. You know what I mean?" And those are times when you just have to go, "Well, he can just eat shit because I don't agree with that." And then move on. Because haters make you popular, people. And the more people were saying about how horrible it was and he should lose his job and all, guess what happened? More people listen to the speech. When you hating on people, more people watch them. I mean, it could work. Hate on my little talk right now. Start sharing this podcast with everybody going, look what this bitch said. Look what she said. She's so far out of her mind. We should stop people from listening to this podcast, because you know what's going to happen when you share it? People are going to want to listen to the shit. So yeah, you don't like it, turn it off. You know what? Don't like it, turn it off. If you don't like it, don't go. Should people lose their job because of this stance? Should you lose your job because A, you talk like this at a commencement speech, but yet that is what you believe on, Catholic and all? No, you shouldn't lose your job. Should you lose your job because they find out that you've married a woman? No, you shouldn't. You lose your fucking job. Remember, we're all different. We're all different. And because we're all different, it makes life fun. You also have to remember that we're all human and God made us all. So you can love someone without agreeing with them. I can pray that Kicker is a great husband and a great dad to those kids, and that he's taking care of them mentally and everything that they need to do, because a lot of kids don't have dads out of here. And now we're going to fire this one because he stands on his principles at a Catholic college. You know what I mean? He's Catholic. The wife's Catholic. They don't believe in this shit. And you know what? It's not something new that's happened. People, this isn't new. So I choose to stand on what I believe rather than hating what I don't believe. You know what? I believe I'm supposed to love everyone. I believe I'm supposed to go, well, he can think that way if he wants, and ignore it. That's what I believe. And you know what? I believe I've probably told you more than I know. So I'm probably just a couple of shy, funny stories from the episode. I'm thinking it's going to be next week, the way I'm getting mail. Thank you, people. Funny stories from parents and teachers, and just, there is one that was just a funny story in Walmart, but I'm not going to tell you much more about that. So if you would like to send me a DM, all the socials are thank God you're not my child, you know? And if you'd like to email, it is thank God you're not my child podcast@yahoo.com. And on Instagram, X, TikTok, that's my favorite, because, you know, I don't work a whole lot anymore. Driving Mr. Clift, doing this podcast that people listen to sometimes. Maybe they're going to hate it and share it, and people will, then I'll become like viral. Oh my God, she's so smart. I can't believe she's so smart. You know, if you're going to dream big. So yeah. So until next time, thank God you're not my child.